Minglaba and welcome to MI Radio's Myanmar Today. I am Agacho. Today we are reports on MCCT program to Ayeyawady region and Shan state. Another report on plans underway to reopen pagodas in Yangon during COVID-19. Businesses in Yangon partly resuming their operations. Myanmar and US's research on earth layers under the surface of Yangon. All of that on this edition of Myanmar Today, but for now, let's take a look at what's happening in local news. A total of 398 Myanmar migrant workers returned home on 25th of June through number 2 Friendship Border Bridge in Ayeyawady town in Gien State bordering with Thailand. All of them came back home on their own arrangements with the permission of Myanmar Embassy in the kingdom. Gien State Local Representative U Tan-sin AUNG and local officials helped the returnees with the medical tests and other supplies. The number of migrant workers who returned home from abroad through this border has been 34,390 until now. The latest group of returnees included 240 males and 158 females from different regions and states. With over 1,000 star tortoises laying annually in SHWESETTAW Wildlife Sanctuary, 50% of them, the laying star tortoises, are alive, according to the SHWESETTAW Wildlife Sanctuary Administration Office. The star tortoises are mating 2 or 3 times per year. In 2019, the star tortoises laid a total of 1,150 eggs. Among them, 507 were alive, with 93 star tortoises dead. So, 50% of laying star tortoises were alive. That is according to Wang So-tin, the administrator of the SHWESETTAW Wildlife Sanctuary. In 2020, star tortoises are laying a total of 130 eggs, including 42 males and 97 female eggs. After rainy season, they will be laying the eggs again in September. At present, there are a total of 1,025 star tortoises in SHWESETTAW Wildlife Sanctuary. Myanmar's trade gap has significantly widened in 8.5 months of the current financial year 2019 and 2020 to more than $1.7 billion from $853 million, registered in the corresponding period of the 2018 and 2019 fiscal year, according to the data provided by the Ministry of Commerce. Between the 1st of October and 12th of June in the current fiscal, Myanmar's external trade increased to over $26.4 billion from $24.57 billion recorded in the year-ago period. While exports were estimated at $12.37 billion, imports were valued at $14 billion. Compared to the previous fiscal, exports showed an increase of $518 million, while imports climbed up by $1.38 billion. Myanmar exports agricultural products, animal products, minerals, forest products, and finished industrial goods, while it imports capital goods, intermediate goods, CMP raw materials, and consumer goods. That's all with the local news. Now we'll move on to our first report. Maternal and Child Cash Transfer MCCT program is to reach Ayeyawady region and Shan state in 2019 and 2020 fiscal years. It has started in 2017 and has already covered in 5 areas of the country. For MCCT program in Ayeyawady region and Shan state, the beneficiaries include pregnant women and babies born before 1st April, and registration opens starting from the 1st of July.
The first 1,000 days of life is the period from conception to age of 2 years when enormous growth and development occurs in a baby. During this period, the foundations of optimum health, growth, and brain's functional development across the lifetime are highly built. According to UNICEF, at least 200 million children living in developing countries fail to meet their developmental potential during the first 1,000 days of life. Under National Social Protection Strategy of Myanmar, the government has announced to launch Maternal and Child Cash Transfer MCCT program in 2014. Then it kicked off from 2017 by Department of Social Welfare of the Ministry of Social Welfare, Relief and Resettlement in collaboration with partner organizations. In 2017-2018 fiscal years, it started in Chin State, Rakhine State, and Naga self-administrated zone. It reached to Kenya State and Gaya State in 2018-2019 fiscal years.
2018 ဘဏ္ဍာနှစ်ကနေစပြီးတော့ထောက်ပံ့လိုက်တာအခု2019-20 ဘဏ္ဍာနှစ်မှာ AUNG တိုင်းဒေသကြီးနဲ့ရှမ်းပြည်နယ်မှာတိုးချဲ့ဆောင်ရွက်သွားမှာဖြစ်ပါတယ်
Starting from 2017 to 2018 fiscal year, we have been implementing MCCT program, and for this year of 2019 to 2020 fiscal year, we will perform the program in Ayeyawady region and Shan state. We usually provide 15,000 jets monthly for each beneficiary, split into 2 times payment for totally 6 months. Because of the outbreak of COVID-19, we will apply combined payment this time. So in August, we will transfer 90,000 jets for the aid period from April to September. Beneficiaries are the pregnant women and babies born after April 1st. The beneficiaries can register at offices of General Administration Departments starting from 1st July. The pregnant women have to take record of pregnancy, and for the babies, the parents need to show birth record or vaccination record.
It is to start trial program of electronic cash transfer in some parts of the region and state. The program in Ayeyawady region and Shan state will be implemented by Union government's budget as well as with $100 million loans from International Development Association (IDA) of the World Bank. Besides cash assistance, as part of the MCCT program, community-based risk communication and health and nutrition awareness raisings are performed. When implementing MCCT program, Department of Social Welfare followed 3 principles: universality, life cycle approach, and system building. The MCCT program covers all hard-to-reach areas and IDP camps of the targeted region or states.
ကျွန်တော်ရွေးချယ်ထားတဲ့ဒီပြည်နယ်တိုင်းတစ်ခုကိုအကောင့်တွေပေါ်ပြီးဆိုရင်အဲ့ဒီနေရာမှာရှိတဲ့ကျွန်တော်တို့အကျုံးဝင်တဲ့သူအားလုံး
As part of our principle, we try to cover all populations of beneficiaries of the targeted region or state when performing MCCT program. At this time, especially in Shan state, they are hard to reach areas and non-government controlled areas. We already discussed with some ethnic armed organizations as well as with special regions of Shan state. We have already engaged with special region 2 and 4, so the residents from these 2 regions of Shan states are included in MCCT program registration. Moreover, we will continue negotiation with the remaining areas after the calm situation of COVID-19 outbreak locally.
The cash transfer aims for the pregnant women, babies, and their mothers to have extra cash for adequate nutrition during first 1,000 days of a life. According to the research launched by the Innovations for Poverty Action (IPA) in November of 2019, out of the 4.4 million children under 5 in Myanmar, approximately 1.6 million, which is 35%, are stranded because of inadequate nutrition during this period. In 5 areas where MCCT program has implemented, there are 241,521 active beneficiaries according to the latest update. For Ayeyawady region and Shan state, the registration procedure will start on the 1st of July, and it is expected to receive approximately 140,000 beneficiaries for each area. The MCCT program aims at reaching 2.25 million beneficiaries by 2024. This is TORTOISES reporting from MI Radio.
That's the report on the MCCT program reaching out to Ayeyawady region and Shan state. The responsible persons of the religious structures are in the process of reopening the pagodas after nearly 3 months of closure in Yangon in the wake of COVID-19 in Myanmar. It was learned that the responsible persons of the Pagoda Board of Trustees set up a plan in order to reopen SHWEDAGON Pagoda. Swayman and Yangon report.
The responsible persons of the religious structures are in the process of reopening the pagodas closed for nearly 3 months in Yangon in the wake of COVID-19 in Myanmar. It was learned that the responsible persons of Pagoda Board of Trustees set up a plan in order to reopen SHWEDAGON Pagoda, the sacred place of local pilgrims, serving the tourist attraction site, where it is also the place every tourist visiting Myanmar don't miss. During the closure of the pagoda, renovation works were being carried out. The responsible persons of Pagoda Board of Trustees are waiting for the approval from the superiors to reopen the pagoda. Ayeyawady, head of office of SHWEDAGON PAGODA'S Board of Trustees, said.
The area of SHWEDAGON pagoda is wide with a lot of religious structures. Whether the pagoda is open or closed, renovation works are constantly being carried out. The recent strong wind dropped the small diamond buds from satellite pagodas and the barge boards from SHWEDAGON pagoda. As the pagoda is closed, renovation tasks can be carried out freely, but with not more than 5 workers. Moreover, sanitation works are carried out and it is cleaned with water and soap. Secluded places are disinfected and the companies come to donate pesticides. These pesticides include chlorine that can be sprinkled to vegetables, not harming the humans. Regarding the reopening of the pagoda, the Ministry of Religious Affairs and Culture and the Ministry of Health and Sports are going to release the announcement. Our plan how to reopen the pagoda has been submitted to the Superior Department.
During the period of closure, the foreigners' entrance of the northern gateway of the pagoda has been enlarged. In the car park, the signs of motor road have been drawn. The matters relating to electrification of Singapura Hill and illumination of SHWEDAGON's diamond bud with the searchlight are under implementation. If the pagoda is allowed reopening, there will be each chamber with fumes of salty liquid capable of killing the virus in 4 stairways of the pagoda. Moreover, there will be 2 body scanners and more than 30 manual scanners. 25 hand wash basins will be placed on the entrance road of the stairway to the pagoda and the pathway to the lifts in addition to the platform of the pagoda. It was learned that Myanmar people came to the fence of the pagoda and showed respect to Buddha, offering flowers and water even though the pagoda was officially closed. In addition, the voluntary associations Prahita doing sanitary matters at the pagodas are currently in preparation. Winton, acting chairman of Mitta Parami Food Offering and Sweeping Association of SHWEDAGON, said.
During the period of closure, we are always in discussion how to provide Prahita service when the pagoda is reopened, and everyone shares a suggestion. We meet once a week. There's a plan to assemble members of the associations, and the membership children are waiting for the reopening of the pagoda as they are willing to do some sundry matters.
There are more than 80 voluntary associations performing good deeds at the pagoda. SHWEDAGON is the pagoda with the highest numbers of pilgrims. The places of 3 feet social distancing will be designated at 4 AUNG gateways, AUNG, SHWEDAGON Boboji and Loka Pala Medoji. From these places, the pilgrims can show respect to Buddha. At the respective satellite corners and the places where the astrologers' advices are done, each 2 persons will be allowed to do good deeds. Ayeyawady, head of office of SHWEDAGON PAGODA'S Board of Trustees, said.
4 stairways will be opened at the same time in order to avoid mass gatherings. If there were numerous pilgrims, each stairway would accept each 2,000. When the number of pilgrims is up 2,000 for each stairway, more pilgrims will have to wait for a while, queuing up 3 feet apart one another. At that time, for example, each stairway will let 5 pilgrims to go up the pagoda if the same numbers go down.
SHWEDAGON Pagoda, the renowned site of Yangon, had to receive 1,500 to 2,500 world tourists a day. From January to the end of March, before the closure of the pagoda, it had received 1,630 million jets and $100 from 160,000 world tourists.
That's a report on plans underway to reopen pagodas in Yangon during COVID-19. Stay with us as we bring you more reports on Myanmar Today. Currently, no local transmission has occurred since 18th of May, but over 100 cases tested positive for COVID-19 from the returnees from the second week of May until now. Most of the companies, factories, schools, gyms, shops, and restaurants in Yangon have begun resuming their respective operations since the beginning of June, as the government has relaxed its healthcare restrictions gradually.
Just after the government's confirmation of the first case for COVID-19 in late March, public gatherings of more than 5 people have been banned since April. Currently, no local transmission has occurred since 18 May, but over 100 cases tested positive for COVID-19 from the returnees from the second week of May until now. Most of the companies, factories, schools, shops, and restaurants in Yangon have begun resuming their respective operations since the beginning of June, as the government has relaxed its healthcare restrictions gradually. The following are public voices from the different businesses speaking to Myanmar Radio about the reoperation their businesses and their opinions on whether Yangon gets back to normality. Imo, a business development manager from Emerald Digital Marketing, said.
Since
the beginning of June, the staffs are attending the office again for 2 days in a week. We have divided into 2 assignments so the staffs can attend the office alternatively. We hope to operate our office with 100% in coming July. The reoperation situation of the businesses will be different from one business to another according to their sorts of business sector. I think that businesses will be back to normal situation after the danger.
Ko Pyo Jo-san is running a restaurant and cafe named Aquino. He said,
office staff office အကုန်လုံးကဟိုလူက30ရာခိုင်နှုန်းပဲရုံးခန်းတစ်ခုမှရှိရမယ်ဆိုတဲ့အခါကျတော့30ရာခိုင်နှုန်းဟိုပဲလူလာတယ်ပေါ့
Our restaurant depends on the office staff customers. Most of the offices assign only 30% of their staffs to attend office alternatively. So our sales can only grow by 30% of normal condition. I think most of the restaurants will be a similar condition like us. Unfortunately, we've heard some restaurants can't withstand the crisis and are shutting down. In my opinion, the restaurants will follow the right healthcare instructions consistently, let the customers feel safe, and create the privacy for them. In this way, they can also pick up the sales quickly, and the restaurants can survive and overcome the crisis.
Jonathan Austria, who is an assistant general manager from Training Ground Fitness Club, spoke to Myanmar Radio about the current economic conditions of fitness industry. He said,
Before we have good sales almost around 80% of our target. Now we're having a 50% of our target. It's not similar like a normal situation. The most difficult now is selling membership, and also the difficulties now is having direct contact to the clients, because as a gym or fitness industry, we make sure the healthy and the right technique of the workout, and we make sure that our clients receive correct knowledge and correct workout from our trainers. So we need really very close contact, but we have to try to avoid that one. That distancing is also very difficult for all the personal trainers. But now we're trying to do educating the members by words using social distancing.
According to Dr. Tan Haisu, who is a spokesperson from MOHS, it could take years to end this epidemic completely and back to normality. The public need to be accustomed to new normal situation as COVID-19 is a long battle, he said.
COVID-19 control and emergency response committee have to decide the relaxings of the restriction by evaluating various points of view like national economy, politics, and so on. If we have to look at the situation around the world, the risk of COVID-19 is still threatening. It will take more time to end this pandemic completely. Even if the vaccination occurs, it will also take some time to reach two countries. COVID-19 is a long-term battle for us. The current condition is vulnerable, and if we take the wrong step, the consequences are really threatening.
During a video conferencing on the focus of comments, State Councillor Aung San Suu Kyi said that the risk of pandemic's second wave has to be concerned, even though the national economy has to be set off as soon as possible. I am Pyoti Ritu. This is news reporting from MI Radio.
That's the report on businesses in Yangon partly resuming their operation. The Geology and Physics departments of Yangon University from Myanmar, in collaboration with Louisiana State University from the United States of America, conducted a research on earth layers under the surface of Yangon during March in 2020. Mintong Ochin and Yanai Laogai have details.
The Geology and Physics departments of Yangon University from Myanmar, in collaboration with Louisiana State University from the United States of America, conducted a research on earth layers under the surface of Yangon during March in 2020, according to Dr. Myothan, Vice President of Myanmar Earthquake Committee, who is also Professor of Geology Department of Yangon University.
What we would like to know is how to respond to seismic waves via various earth layers under the surface of Yangon if an earthquake rocked centering near Yangon or Zagain Fault, and what properties do they have. To be aware of this point, we agreed to record the motion of the ground with the use of 200 seismometers in Yangon. Measuring activities were carried out on two diagonal lines centering in the east, west, and in the south and north of Yangon.
Such measuring activities have emerged as an advantage task for the reason that we will come to know the consequences if the earthquakes happened in Yangon. Dr. La Aung, patron of Myanmar Earthquake Committee, said.
We use microtron devices that record the motion under the ground, and it has to be dropped in the depth of 30 feet. And the vibration appears on the monitor, and it has to be recorded. If an earthquake jolts in Yangon, the seismic waves could be calculated back by microtron device.
For the time being, findings have been already gathered by seismometer. The various properties of earth layers under the surface of Yangon can be known, and these findings will be taken into consideration when new buildings capable of resisting earthquake are constructed in the future, according to Dr. Myothan.
We would come to know the intensity of the earthquake if it rocked from the fault in the future, as we conducted such beneficial research. It is not enough yet, and we can get sky photos, not normal. If we carry out a research with the use of drone photography, we will know the fault of Yangon, where it is, and its intensity if an earth rocks in Yangon in the future. There may be differences. The nature of the seismic waves by the earthquake jolted from the fault nearby Yangon is not the same as that of some distance away from Yangon. Such research results will be reliable in the construction of earthquake-resistant buildings in the future.
Myanmar has been on the list of the countries likely to suffer strong earthquakes in the world and experienced frequent strong earthquakes throughout its history. The key cause of an earthquake is due to subduction zone that exists in the length of more than 1,400 kilometers, ranging from India-Myanmar border to Sumatra Island in Indonesia. Apart from this subduction zone, Zagain Fault, with a length of more than 1,200 kilometers from Pudao, northern state, to Modama Sea, usually rocks significant earthquakes. In addition to Zagain Fault, there are a host of other force, according to earthquake experts. The earthquake records show that the 1930 earthquake caused damage to pagodas and stupas, including Pago Shimodo and houses in Pago. Also in Yangon, the diamond battle of SHWEDAGON pagoda collapsed and 50 people were killed due to the effect of the Pago earthquake. With regard to the Pago Pado Sakai fault, the significant earthquakes did not reoccur after the much damaged Pago earthquake for more than 90 years. For that reason, it can be said that there may be earthquake risk, according to the seismologists. The seismologists predicted that Yangon experiencing huge damage due to the effect of the 1930 Pago earthquake is located on the silty soil, and if an earthquake rock, there might be huge size of damage. Dr. La Ao, patron of Myanmar Earthquake Committee, said,
There are a lot of faults under the surface of Yangon, not big ones, but small ones. Among them, an earthquake appears from one of place of fault, and it might be again from the other place as well. Earthquakes jolt formerly in Yangon, and now are also the same matter, and so will be in the future. It is not easy to tell when the earthquake happens. Sometimes, if the earthquake strongly rocks in other places, it may bring the effect to Yangon.
And that's all we have for today's reports, and it's time to check on some international news here on Myanmar Today. Chinese President Xi Jinping and his wife Peng Liyuan exchanged congratulations with Dutch King Willem-Alexander and Queen Maxima on the birth of a giant panda cub in the Netherlands. The panda named Wu gave birth to a cub in the Uitgein Zoo in the Dutch province of Utrecht in May. Wu arrived at the zoo on April 12, 2017 as part of an international breeding program. The cub is a beautiful symbol of the Chinese-Dutch friendship and an important achievement in bilateral cooperation in biodiversity conservation, said Xi and his wife in a congratulatory letter. The European Union's top diplomat said the EU is determined to protect its external borders during his visit to Greece on Wednesday, after a standoff in March in which thousands of migrants attempted to force their way into Greece, triggering clashes on their border. It also comes after a series of recent disputes over airspace and sea boundaries. Greek Foreign Minister Nikos Dandias said, quote, "Today, after a short interval due to the pandemic, Turkey has once again stated that its land borders with Europe are open. Its Coast Guard is escorting boats loaded with the migrants heading towards the Greek islands, and it insists on undermining security, stability, and peace in the Eastern Mediterranean," unquote. The United States on Thursday targeted Iran with another round of the sanctions on 8 firms, this time targeting steel and other metal companies, according to the notice posted on the United States Department of the Treasury's website. The affected companies include 5 firms linked to Mobarek Steel Company, the notice said. France and Germany are showing their support for the World Health Organization, promising more financial support. Germany's health minister announced the country would give a record €500 million in funding and equipment this year to the WHO.
Germany is a strong partner and supporter of this responsive WHO, and we very much appreciate the steps Director General Tedros already has taken and the initiatives that are planned.
The COVID-19 pandemic is a once-in-a-century event that has shown the world was not as prepared as it should have been. We must all learn the lessons it's teaching us that we are one humanity and none of us are safe.
The Dragon Boat Festival, otherwise known as the Duanwu or Tuanang Festival, is one of China's major traditional festivals. The Dragon Boat Festival has been celebrated on the 5th day of the 5th month of the Chinese lunar calendar for millennia. This year, the celebration falls on the 25th of June. China, as the place of origin is abundant in celebrations and traditions, has 2 major celebrations, Zhongji making and dragon boat racing. And that's all we have for today. Thanks for joining me on Myanmar Today. I am Aga Jo. Have a great day, everyone. Stay home, stay safe, practice good personal hygiene, and follow instructions strictly, and always be on high alert for important news. Goodbye.